Hi everybody, welcome back to Confidence Stories at the Warrior Academy. My name is Jasmine Navarro and I'm a certified wellbeing expert working with educational institutions and companies supporting their family wellbeing challenges. And every week I interview different experts at the Warrior Academy and we talk about ways to help children and parents become more confident, have better communication, and overcome different challenges. And as you know, this month our theme is supporting families through transition. And today I am super excited to be interviewing Douglas. Hi Douglas, thank you so much for coming.
Hello, good morning, Yasmin. Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you. My name is Douglas Carvalho Alves. I'm from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, living here in Dubai. Basically, my mission, my purpose, and my profession is character development coach through the martial arts. I used to training the children through the martial arts, but our main focus, however, is character development. The martial arts used to be the main vehicle to bring that tools for the children and help them surpass the challenge, difficulties of the life and their lives and the math as well, and overcome themselves and become the best person.
Amazing, amazing. Can you just tell us a little bit more about what you do? Because off camera you were telling me and I was just like amazed. So can you just tell us a little bit about your professional experience?
So
exactly.
I'm former professional MMA fighter.
Okay, wow. Okay.
I'm former light heavyweight world champion from
world champion.
Yeah, from SFL.
Wow.
This is on MMA. I'm Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and kickboxing. I wear titles and national titles, South American titles, and world titles as well. My last professional fight was around 2019 in Brazil. And after that, I had one several injury, and I decided to care my health and just step back from the cages and rings and dedicate myself to improve myself as a coach.
Wow. And you also mentioned you've got 5 black belts.
Yeah, from 5 different disciplines. They are kickboxing, black degree in Muay Thai, Brazilian wrestling. The original name is Brazilian Luta Livre Esportiva, translated from Portuguese to English, is Brazilian wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and my most recently graduation was Brazilian, Taekwondo freestyle black belt.
Wow, I'm absolutely speechless.
Me too.
You've done so much. You've done so much, and it sounds incredible. All of your professional experience, and you must be so disciplined, and it must have been so challenging.
I try my best. Actually, to bear all those achievements, conquer all those achievements, and also be able to care myself, refresh these knowledge and acquires. I must be disciplined. The same. I need to manage very well my time, the way my healthy, the way that I used to feed in my body, my mind, what I read, what I speak, what I listen, what I eat. Because all of this will reflect on my day.
Exactly. But can I just ask you before we move on? I know you've got lots of interesting things to tell us, but with all of that experience, I mean, for me, it just sounds so challenging. Can you tell us what was the hardest parts about all of that? What was your hardest moment professionally?
You mean back in the days I was competitor?
Yeah, when you were training and everything.
Stay away from my family during the training camp. Cutting, lose a weight, and just keep the straight away into the protocol, cutting my body weight, eating the proper weight on the scouter, or taking a place in one training camp, several hard training camp. 6 hours a day, 7 days a week, during over 12,
Yeah.
12 weeks
And
in a row.
what kept you focused and going?
First of all, myself, I was a kind of children who always looking for challenges on the life. I always practice radical sports, skateboard, surf, football.
Very
I
active.
started to drive motorbike and cars
Yeah.
pretty earlier as well. Kite surf in Brazil, in back in
Wow.
Rio. So, and MMA fight, all those martial arts. I started already on the MMA. I started, to be honest with you, quite late, with 20 years
Okay.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah, it doesn't sound late, but I guess when you think some people start when they're children, yeah.
old. Exactly.
But listening to you, I feel really lazy, even though I'm quite active. But you seem so active and so disciplined, and I think, of course, all of your experience really blends in nicely with your work at the Warrior Academy and how you support students, parents, and everything like that. So, can you tell us? As today we're focusing on supporting families through transition with a special focus on, how to manage emotions, fear, anxiety, all of these uncomfortable emotions. So can you tell us, first of all, what kind of challenges do your students face in the Warrior Academy? Because I know,
Sure.
obviously, it's all about character development, and martial arts seems challenging. There seems to be lots of challenges there. Yeah.
Basically, from my perspective, my own point of view, the children's has been raised in UAE. They live in one completely different world. I will not call it a bubble, but it sounds like. Most of the parents look at us and ask for our help because they ain't got no time to spend with the children,
People are
and
busy.
busy working.
Yeah.
Most of them are literally workaholic, and so those children used to spend more time with the nannies
Right.
and restless at home. And they want the children go out and just practice sports, make contact with nature, some animals as soon as they can, but as soon as possible. But most of the time, it's not possible. And then they're looking for the Warrior Academy because right here, through the Warrior Academy methodology, we can introduce those young lives into the martial arts discipline. We can teach them how to stand by their own and fend themselves, and also their beloved people, family,
Okay.
and dealing against bullies at school
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff like
that's
that.
interesting. So yeah. So again, sorry, going back to your experience. So bullying is that something
Yeah,
that
quite
you
challenge.
is that something that you help deal with the students in your
Sure.
class?
Sure. I told you, right here, over here, I used to teach in Taekwondo freestyle, who allowed me to apply different techniques from different disciplines. For example, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu,
Yeah.
Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing as well. I used to
Right.
apply those disciplines, some skills, just to increase the arsenal of weapons for the children, be able to fend themselves, and of course work their mentality, teaching them that despite their skills, martial arts skills,
Yeah.
they are never ever allowed to start getting to the problem against the others.
Right. Okay. So no, that sounds really interesting. It sounds like you've got a lot of tools that you can teach. So maybe bullying or other challenges that you notice that the students have in the Warrior Academy. What kind of emotions do you see them experiencing? Because that's what we're talking about today, like how to manage these difficult emotions. Like, what kind of emotions have you noticed?
Lack of self-esteem,
They're not feeling good
self-confidence,
enough.
lack of confidence as well.
Yeah.
The children used to be self-conscious and pretty much shy.
Right.
They didn't speak louder with big voice. I used to encourage and motivate them and highlight their high points.
Okay.
Qualities.
So going back to the problems again, so feeling So lots of self-doubt, not speaking up for themselves.
Yeah,
Anxiety, because that seems to be
a lot of as well.
lots of anxiety, stress,
A
pressure.
lot of all of this we has been facing off a lot of
Yes. And so how do your classes and your tools and techniques that you have help those children, teenagers manage these uncomfortable emotions? Because I think sometimes we're taught just to sometimes not acknowledge any emotions and just get on with it.
Yeah,
So
sure.
how do you help them?
I really
emotional
believe the practice bring the perfection. We used to apply
Practice.
constantly, every single class, one table time, name it syllabus. We
Okay.
used to start with the mindfulness meditation time.
Oh.
I used to keep the children's in the line and under the control through the breathing exercise.
Breathing,
Yeah, they breathe in for during 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
How? Like, what do you mean?
Just,
Deep
they
breath,
just take
or-
a deep breath. They just take a seat, keep the legs crossed, hands on their knees, back straight. I
Oh,
completely
this sounds
close
good. Yeah.
and just listen to my voice. And I literally preach while the test. I preach for them.
What are you saying?
I explain the purpose behind that exercise. I encourage them to keep the focus in mind over the next few minutes, how the class should go,
Yeah.
what's the table time after this task. The next one will take a place should be combinations, techniques, self-defense, prepare your mind for what's coming up next. So
and this is how you start the classes.
yeah, I prepare their
Wow.
mind, for the challenge
Oh, I love
coming
that.
ahead. And then they start to make the class quite more interesting,
Wow.
quite more challenge, but
Yeah.
also at the same time make them feel pretty much confident in terms if we compare the time before arriving in the classroom.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That is such an amazing way to start the class. Because, of course, everyone's coming in with all of their stresses, whatever they've just been facing with throughout the day, maybe lots of challenges, who knows. So you start them, so you get them into this state. The first thing you do is help the student become in a calm state.
Exactly.
You get them in a calm state. So I think that's really powerful. And how long does that last?
That task,
Yeah.
that task is around 5 minutes maximum. Yeah,
Only 5 minutes as well.
But can be a real challenge most of the times because, as you said, there is many different feelings and a lot of things passing by the children's minds.
Cool.
A lot of anxiety,
Yeah.
and most of them coming straight away from the school. Most of the time.
Yeah.
So they bring from the school some different story to tell me, and experience. Most of them used to tell me, for example, cases of bullying they suffered at school.
Well, so they open up to you.
Exactly.
That's amazing because I think just building that relationship.
Exactly.
How do you build that relationship?
Exactly. I build the relationship based on confidence. They trust on me. I lead through the example. Everything that I used to apply to teaching on my class, I used to practice it by my own and show them how to do. I really engage with the children because I really willing to see the children create a big bond with me and we create with each other, with one another.
Yeah.
And
how do you do that? Like, how do you get them to trust you?
Actually, so it takes some time, demand some time, most of the time, the children, but the children still being a children, pure heart, sweet souls. When you just staring at and look into their eyes and speak nicely and literally guide all of them by the hand and bring into the classroom and show patience and love with what you has been doing with them. There is no another different result. The bond will be created. And also after the class, I used to highlight the children's high points for parents. the parents feel so satisfied, so happy
Yeah.
and proud,
Yeah.
and the children as well, because it sounds look like, wow, this is most than my expectations about this coach, because look, he still tell my fathers, my parents, my mothers, many different stuffs, good stuffs about my behavior, stuff that myself don't think about myself.
So the parents notice the change?
Notice the
Yeah,
change,
different
yeah, the
behavior.
development has been shown very quickly.
Oh, really? I can imagine, yeah, with children. And what age groups do you work with?
So actually, from 3 years old,
Three?
3 years old,
Wow.
sometimes I took children's to teaching children's from 2 years and a half. Last week I had a trial, two trials, 2 years and a half. One sister of one student of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
the boy was 3 years and a half, and the sister
that's
2 years and a
amazing.
half.
I mean, I always say, with confidence building, self-esteem building, the younger the better. I think as soon as children can speak, that's when
they should take a part.
Exactly, or even before maybe. But it's very interesting because it's very similar. What you do is very similar to what I do in my workshops. But obviously, I'm not a martial arts teacher, so I love everything that you're teaching there. I think it's the foundation. It builds the foundation, and especially coming back to our topic as well about supporting families through transition. How do you think your classes could help families who've just moved to Dubai, maybe, like you said yourself, when you moved to Dubai, you didn't even know.
I don't even speak language.
You didn't speak the language, so you feel even more lonely, and that can make you lose your confidence. Like, how do you think, your classes help support families through this transition? Because especially Dubai, so many of us have come here. We don't know anybody. We're starting again. Children, it's difficult for children. It could be difficult for parents. Different if you don't know the language.
I really believe on my mission, the purpose of my mission behind my profession. So I really believe I can help change their lives and change my own life through that life's change. And I think the discipline and the way that I help them educate their children, the time I used to spend with quality, they cannot spend with their children most of the time. And I keep on the children's mind the importance to be the same respect, because the children used to respect me a lot.
Yes. And how do you get them to respect you?
I'm a kind of authority inside the classroom.
Yes.
I'm not authoritarian.
Right.
I really believe to be a real authority, you must to be scrupulous, and you must to lead by the example.
Yeah.
Because the children will not follow my words; they will follow my attitude, my conduct.
What they see.
Exactly. So when you show those principles and values for the children used to hug me, to ask me to stick around for a little longer, even after their regular class, to participate in the other class. I used to hear from some students of mine, coach, they approached me and asked me, what I want to be when I grow old? No, tell me, for example, Haya is the most recent case. She is a student of mine. On Saturdays, she said to me that I want to be a coach like you.
Wow,
you're girl, and the parents witnessed this, and they said, yeah, that's real. She used to say many times, often at home, the same thing, because has been take me as an example,
Yes. Amazing. And tell us more about the discipline then, because you've spoken about, how you lead by example, the tools and techniques that you use to start the class, to build that safe space, to build relationships, to create trust, all of those things which are so important. But also you teach martial arts, which is a whole other set of skills. And I know it's all about discipline. Can you tell us a bit more about the discipline? Like, 'cause when I hear that, I think it sounds quite daunting. I don't know, because I can imagine it can be quite difficult. the things that the children have to do.
Yeah, used to be most difficult than we can imagine from the beginning. But
Really?
after a little while, all of this start to be naturally and automatically and just goes on.
That's true.
Yeah.
But how
So
do you get them if they just arrive? The students just arrive. They don't know any martial arts.
I
They
really
don't have any
believe,
confidence.
yeah.
What do you do?
Actually, I used to ask for the parents attending the classroom
Oh,
during
do
that
you?
time. Yes, with trials,
Give them the
because most
support.
of the children are terrified. They see
Yeah.
bald beard, the big guy, dark skin with some tattoos, wearing one black dubo, is speaking with a different accent. Most of the children used to be quite terrified.
I'd be terrified.
Yeah,
To be quite
because
honest.
if they just looking for that on our dojos, we got stunning and beautiful coats right here, male coats, with long hairs, different nationalities. So sweet, speaking nice, with very smooth voice. And then when they are facing off a coach like me, most of the smaller children, they are quite scared.
Yeah,
And
I
then
imagine.
I need to crack on through that huge wall.
Yes.
That shield. There is that shield, that
Yes.
obstacle.
Yeah.
And then I need to introduce myself. I need to ask for the parents to take a place into the classroom, just to love. I don't force it. I don't use to force the children to participate.
I like that.
Nothing.
I'm
I
the
just
same.
tell feel free. You are my customer right here. I invited you just to watch, and you don't even need to take a place in the class. Just watching and decide it by yourself if you like, if you want, if you change your mind at the middle of the class. Come over to participate, and
Amazing.
I'm gonna guide you. I used to ask for the veterans, my students of mine already super very welcome the family, everyone after compliment the coach, because there is a ritual I used for all of them to ask all of them to stand up through that keyword freeze. Everybody stand up and immediately respond, yes, sir, and show discipline and how engaged they are working as a team. And then I ask them to turn around, face to the visitors, and ask the visitors to stand up and say, very welcome, good afternoon.
So you teach them with your teaching.
I teach my students, and this immediately impact on the children's life. That one week, And after 5-10 minutes, he's already engaged with the older boys and girls, training and follow straight away my comments, even without never being participated before.
Well, it's incredible.
That's
powerful. And just want to say to everybody who's joining, I'm interviewing Douglas at the Warrior Academy, and we're talking about supporting family through transitions with a special focus on managing emotion. So if you have any comments or questions, please do let us know, and we will be happy to answer those. That sounds, it's so powerful. And so going back to the discipline then, because I know some of the classes can be quite difficult.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get the students to actually, participate in those activities and to keep going and to build that resilience?
I really believe to educate and raise human beings, there is 4 seasons. From the birth until 5 years old, you must to keep the focus on discipline. Teaching them how to be disciplined, teaching them how to control their impulse, their instinct, because on that age, from the birth until 5 years old, they are completely instinctive humans. They react based on their feelings and impulse without even thinking about it.
Sometimes
they are
not
not
a good thing. It's not a good thing.
Yeah, it depends. So in that case, I used to teaching discipline for them. I don't push them. I don't demand excellence and skills and anything else. The main thing I demand is control themselves. For example, how to stick around for a few minutes, for a little longer, how to control themselves, for example, when they are listening to me teaching them and recommend for never ever interrupt the coach. When, for example, if they face two adults, when I stay speaking with their parents, they need to be patient and wait for we finish the conversation, raise the hand before ask. So this kind of discipline, very healthy. Very healthy and under the reality for those children. And from 5 years old all the way over until 12, I keep more the focus in training them, teaching them how to work a little bit more hard, make to deserve, building their mind mentality and body get strong as well, and help them dive deepest into themselves and figure out how good they are and how huge is their potential, to be evolved. From 12 years old until 18 years old, I take a place as a coach. That one who I allowed myself just step back and watching from the safe distance what they have been put in practice, regardless all of the
just like reflecting,
exactly.
evaluating.
And I just approach them to say, I wait them to make a mistake. When they make a mistake, they are able, they notice. They know, they look at me and ask, "How coach, I made a mistake. How can I do to improve?" And then I approach, I have a conversation, brief conversation. I give the good advice, step back away, and then just observe and let them go, and then fix this by their own. And after this, after 18 years old, I really believe, I'm talking about a father perspective as well, because I'm a father. I just got a newborn, and that's the way I really thank you. His name is Denzel, by the way. Kiss you, my son. Denzel, my beloved wife. So I really believe that's the proper way to raise my son, and I used to put in practice with the older children because I really believe from the bottom of my heart, and that's the same methodology I will apply with my family, with my blood.
And is that what for you when you were growing up as well? Was it?
And unfortunately, I don't have the same parents the same way. My parents doesn't raise me the same way. My mom, she was a mom and father at the same time. I come from a family who divorced. I was 9 years old. I experienced not really good things as for children to witness the parents, separating and stuff like that. But I'm so lucky because I had a web of people surrounded me, very much supportive, friends, family members, good and honest men, based on principles and values, never negotiated that precious stuff. So I'm blessed because since from the beginning of my life, my eyes were completely open for the good things, and I absorb and identify what worked in my life, and I just apply on my life.
Wow. Very, very inspiring, Douglas. Thank you so much for sharing all of your amazing experience. Is there anything else you want to say before we go about supporting families through transitions? If we have parents watching now, or we do have parents watching now, what would you like to say to them?
Sure, parents, can you please guide your children by the example maximum as you can, maximum as possible. Show them how healthy, how mentality, physically, emotionally, and spiritually health your home environment can be under your sponsorship and your rules, guided by example, and feeding their mind, their spirit with good habits, good food, fresh food, exercise, and also with intimacy and relationship with God. Never negotiate that principles because all the civilizations who reach the success were based on that valuable stuff.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Douglas. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I love what you said as well about leading by example.
Thank you very much.
That's so important, isn't it? That's children do what they see, not what they hear. It's what they see. So model your example.
Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Douglas. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And I will see you next week with some more confidence stories at the Warrior Academy. So, you want to end? Douglas?